Greetings to all of you and welcome to this online class that's about healthcare waste management. Let me start by loading the slides, then we could get started. So I'm Jimmy OSURET from the Department of Disease Control and Environmental Health. Specifically, if we were to look at the learning outcomes for this topic on healthcare waste management, the learning outcomes are that by the end of this session, you are expected to be able to define what healthcare wastes are, then differentiate the different healthcare waste categories, and be able to apply the World Health Organization Healthcare Waste Management Segregation Scheme. And lastly, you should be able to discuss the various treatment and disposal methods for healthcare waste. If we were to look at the definition, healthcare waste includes all the waste that is generated, that is by healthcare establishments. They could be health research facilities and any laboratories that are in place. Moving on to look at the various categories of healthcare waste, we have sharps, and this could include syringes, blades, among others. We also have another category of the infectious waste that could include any material that is suspected to contain pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, parasites, or fungi. We also have pathological waste, and this could include body parts following surgery. This could also include human tissue or organs, among others. Then we have the pharmaceutical waste. This could include products that have expired, pharmaceutical products that have expired. We also have the chemical waste, which could include any kind of waste that contains chemical substances, such as heavy metals. We also have the radioactive waste as a category, and this could include waste that contains radioactive substances. So just as we build into the introduction, if we were to look at the composition of healthcare waste, you will notice that the biggest bulk of the waste is from the general or non-hazardous healthcare waste category, which contributes 85%, and the infectious waste category constitutes 10%, as shown in this pie chart. So who are the most exposed groups when it comes to healthcare waste? We have healthcare workers because of their nature of work, which involves them coming in contact with this waste. We also have the waste handlers, as well as salvagers. These are people who usually go to landfills or dump sites to retrieve materials. In addition to that, we have the support staff working in these establishments. This could include the cleaning staff as well as the porters. Also, communities that are found living near landfills are exposed to this kind of waste. We want to move on and look at the aspect of waste segregation. And from the literature, it has been shown that careful segregation and separate collection of hospital waste is the key to safe and sound management of healthcare waste. And this is what we should be promoting. So I have a visual representation of the segregation of medical waste. This is published. The source is the Ministry of Health, that is Uganda. And if we look at the color codes, you will notice that black is for the non-infectious waste, which could include food peelings, empty bottles or cans, and it will go into the black bin with a liner. Then we have sharps, which could include used syringes, needles, blades, or broken glass. These go into a yellow safety box. We also have the infectious waste, which could include used cotton, gauze, as well as used gloves, among others. And this is put into a yellow bin with a liner. Then the highly infectious waste, which could include extracted teeth, pathological waste, among others, is placed into the red bin with a liner. Then we also have the pharmaceutical waste that goes into a brown bin with a liner. This is a picture we took of part of the waste segregation bins, specifically highlighting the different colors. So let's move on and look at the treatment and disposal methods. There are quite a number of various methods that are used in the treatment of healthcare waste, but I will focus on a few. The first one being the thermal processes that could be used to destroy any pathogens that are in waste, and this involves using high temperatures. We also have some chemical processes that could be applied in the treatment of healthcare waste, and this would involve using chemical substances such as dissolved chlorine dioxide as well as sodium hypochlorite, commonly known as bleach, which has been shown to be effective in the treatment of healthcare waste. We also have biological processes such as composting as well as the natural decomposition of pathological waste, and this could be through burial of this waste as another example of the biological process. Health facilities should also have autoclaves that could be used in the treatment of waste, as well as incinerators which apply high temperature to, to destroy or to combust waste, and this could in the long run result in a significant reduction of waste volume and weight. I also want to mention that autoclaves have been also been applied, as well as incineration, just to further emphasize. And as we conclude, some health establishments come up with locally constructed kilns that could be used in the treatment of healthcare waste. And lastly, if we were to look at the disposal methods, we have the land disposal, which could be controlled or uncontrolled. For the uncontrolled, it is characterized by the scattered or uncontrolled deposit of wastes at site. And this practice is burdensome because it could lead to pollution and increase the risk of disease. We do have what we call controlled dumping as another form of disposal of healthcare waste, and this applies engineering measures and controls in the disposal of healthcare waste. Thank you very much, and this has brought us to the end of the lecture.